Hey up everybody, I hope you're all well and happy in what is today where I am in Middlesbrough Monday evening. It's pretty grey, miserable, usual as it often is in this part of the world. Today's brief chat while I'm sat in my full clothed but my dressing gown because I'm a bit chilly is actually about a post I've just put on. So I've just put on a post about my husband bringing me up a glass of beer and a bowl of crisps whilst I was finishing off doing some work. And how that in the past would have absolutely freaked me out, and it would have done. It would have just sent me in an absolute total whirlwind of a spin. And lots of that would have been around the word extra. And I just wanted to do a little bit of a chat about that concept of extra, because I hear that an awful lot. And I had no idea about the concept of extra in recovery terms until I went into inpatients, and it was the first time that I got a real strict meal plan. And obviously because you're in that refeeding territory and you're in that nutritional rehabilitation zone, and it's all about making sure that you're not dying. Let's be honest, you don't go into inpatients or that's kind of extreme side of anorexia because you're well and you've got control of your faculties and you know what to do and you know how to make choices. No. You need support and guidance in order to get you over that initial hurdle. But extras to me hadn't really been something in my sort of rhetoric, in something which I was kind of thinking about and doing. Now, I think one thing on that is because there was no such thing as extras when I was really the initial stages of my anorexia diagnosis, because actually there was nothing involved. There was nothing to be extra of. If you're eating as the tiny amounts that I was eating and exercising the ridiculous amounts I was exercising, then the extra is just not a thing, because you're not eating enough for them to ever be anything extra. So then when I got a first proper meal plan, and I was being made to stick to it, then I think that concept of extra came about. And I remember people and patients saying to me, oh, I need to ask if I can have some extras. I would like vegetables as an extra. I think I need to have a look at how I might get an extra part of pudding or a sweet. And then suddenly it became something that was a thing, that anything beyond a meal plan was classed as extra. And this then needed a hell of a lot of rewiring afterwards, because actually in the real world, guys, there is no such thing as extra. We don't live to a plan, all right? Human beings do not have the capacity to actually survive properly under a seriously controlled plan, because our bodies will always win. So our bodies will tell us when they do or don't need things. Now, it might be that you ignore it and your hair ends up falling out in clumps, or you can't sit down because your backside hurts too much on a cold surface, or you can't get up a flight of stairs without absolutely gasping for breath. But your bodies will try to make sure you've got enough fuel. But actually, we have no concept of what extra is. It's just fuel. It's just food. So if you're hungry, you have something to eat. And if you're thirsty, you have something to drink. And if you're busy, you grab a bag of crisps. And if you're relaxing at home with your family, you'll have a glass of beer or a glass of wine or a can of pop. It's not extras because there's no reason to quantify it as anything other than just stuff. We don't, in anorexia recovery, we don't need to be thinking about anything other than the fact that we need to be making the right decisions for real recovery every single minute of every single day. So the second our tummy starts to grumble, we've got to go, right, okay, I need to eat something. But being mindful of the fact that I know that that's scary as hell. Like it says in my post, it would have scared the shit out of me if James had brought up a glass of beer and a bowl of crisps when I was poorly, or even in an earlier stage of my recovery. And actually, the key to understanding how he's feeling and my family's feeling about my recovery is the fact that he did that, and he knew it wouldn't be flushed down the loo, and he knew it wouldn't be hidden somewhere, and he knew it would be broken into a million pieces and pushed underneath the desk or the chair. He knew that I was probably quite peckish. It was 4:30. I'd been up working for quite a few hours. I hadn't really moved much because I was busy doing something. So therefore, I'd need a snack. I'd need something to eat to keep me going. And he knew that I'd quite fancy a beer. So you've got to try and figure out maybe one of the behaviours, you know, I focus on shifting behaviours, and one of the behaviour shifts is this concept of extra. There is nothing extra in eating disorders recovery. There is nothing extra as far as the human body is concerned. It's all just stuff that it needs and we need to thrive. And whether it's what we call mental hunger, where you're thinking about food all the time, or physical hunger, so your stomach's growling at you, it's not extra to eat. It's just the fact that actually we fancy something so we can eat it. That sounded a bit preachy, and I'm really sorry if it came across like that. I don't know, maybe it's because I've got my hair up. But we really need to reframe, I think, that idea of extra, because it's coming up a lot again, and it worries me, because if you're thinking about anything or contemplating anything as being extra, it means you're then sticking to some sort of prescribed or minimal amount. For something to be just described as extra, it suggests you've got a cap, you've got a limit, and you can't afford to have that in anorexia recovery. If you are classing things as extra, then you're not in real recovery. You're still stuck in that bullshit quasi-recovery that is going to keep you really, really poorly. And I don't call it bullshit because I'm criticising you guys at all. I call it bullshit because it's anorexia bullshit, because she or he is trying to keep you trapped in this fake world. So it's not extra, it's just stuff. It's just a drink, it's just some crisps, it's just half a sausage roll, it's just a bit of brownie, it's whatever it is. It's not extra, it's just stuff that your mind and your body's saying, eat. And trust me, look around your family and your friends, they'll all just do it. They'll graze and pick and have whatever they fancy whenever they fancy it. Okay, I'll stop being preachy now, I promise. See you soon. Bye.